Shabbat shalom, everyone. We are so glad that you could join us this evening for our worship services. As you can see, we are moving towards wholeness, and we have moved ourselves socially distant and safe onto the courtyard for our summer services. And we hope that soon enough that you will also be able to join us here in a safe way so that we can all pray together. It's so exciting to be able to say to you that Rabbi Jason Nevarez is here and home with us, and we welcome him to our bima, and we want to welcome him and his entire family here to San Diego and to pray with us. This is a Shechayanu moment. Please join us. Kabbalat Shabbat, the receiving of Shabbat, means to welcome Shabbat with a whole heart and with our entire souls. We begin by warming up before we begin to pray. Yedid Nefesh, heart's delight, source of mercy, draw your servants into your arms.
Yeah.
Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch. Join with us. Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech,
Beloved, come meet the bride. Come, greet Shabbat, l'chadodi.
We breathe in the elements of Kabbalat Shabbat, the receiving of this time where we can focus inward, our intent to bring calmness and wholeness into our sacred space, our homes, where many of us are this evening, and to prepare ourselves to enter into the Baruch Hu, to use our knees, to use our bodies, our physicality in order to open and enter into a service and into a time where community stands forth. If you're able, I invite you to rise in your homes. So we join together for our call to worship the Baruch Hu. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of tide, of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows.
El חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרביעים.
Everlasting One, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel.
כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, בהם נגד יומם ולילה, ועבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Baruch Shem Kivod Malchutov Leolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. We read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. We join together, Mi Chamocha. We ask for God's sheltering peace, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamitenu shomreinu l'chaim. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבתו נפש, שבתו נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
As we prepare for the Amidah, our standing prayer, we ask God to open our lips that our mouths may declare God's praise. We rise in mind, body, and spirit together as we prepare to pray our words.
Eloheinu
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata, Rav LeHoshiach, Morid Hatal. Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Givurot Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye
we take a moment to reflect on those who are in need of a refuah shlema, recovery of mind, of body, of spirit. So many that we think of at this time in our greater global community in need of such healing. And I know that our congregation, our community right here shares in our thoughts and our hearts the following individuals: Norman Behrman, Leslie Fathman, Sebastian Ferran, Denise Garrick, Laura Haberman, Ellen Hutt, Robert Ilko Sr., Heidi Krantz, Leica Bat Yehudit, Mary Marshall and Steve Gould, Nessa Bat Yosefa Shoshana, Patty Peters, Jerry Sampson, Rhonda Schwartz, Maxine Trimble and Gerald Trimble, Linda Valfer and Fred Valfer, Sabina Gwalik, Rodney Washington, George Wise, Rachel Batsara, for the healing that's needed in our community, for the healing of individuals, for our loved ones. We say, Mishaberach Avotenu, Avacham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. God of our forefathers and foremothers, source of creation, bless all those in need with much healing of mind, body, and spirits. So we join together in a prayer of healing, a prayer of Mishaberach. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is wonderful to be here with my clergy colleagues in this first service, and with Andy, and with all of you who are joining us at home. Just 2 days ago, I began my official tenure as your new senior rabbi. The welcome has been warm and inviting, and yes, a bit unusual. When I imagined that first Shabbat in our courtyard, I envisioned rich interactions with many of you, as I like to say, punim to punim, face to face, a time where I would start to learn more about each and every one of you. While the music and prayerful moments are still rich and inspiring, I and we are still missing you. My family and I have to wait a bit longer to connect with many of you in person. But in this time, when seemingly endless limitations are placed upon us, I am focused on illuminating the blessings we can all find in these moments. This week's double Torah portion, Hukat Balak, which comes from the book of Numbers, includes famous words of blessing whose origins are actually derived from a curse. Balak, the Moabite king, feels threatened by the power of the neighboring Israelite tribes and summons a leading local rent-a-prophet named Balaam to go forth and to curse the Israelites. After much resistance, Balaam finally reaches a hill overlooking the Israelite camps, where instead of cursing, he declares words of blessing. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How lovely, how good, how fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. This verse is but one example of how commissioned curses are spoken instead as blessings, so much so that it is taken up by the later rabbis, and as often happens to biblical verses, it becomes repurposed in a new liturgical setting. It becomes the opening line of the daily synagogue liturgy. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. These words are strategically and significantly placed. In fact, they're intended to be the very first words uttered as one enters synagogue in the morning. Ma tovu sets the key for the entire day of prayer. It serves as a symphony for the heart and for the soul. Yet it comes from a most surprising source. It was first uttered by an enemy of Israel, Balaam, who upon seeing Israel's tribes arrayed in the desert about the tabernacle, exclaimed Ma tovu. And something even more surprising, rabbinic commentaries consistently agree that it was to curse Israel. After all, he had been hired to do so by the Moabite king. Seeing Israel proudly and devoutly arrayed at the tabernacle, Balaam arose and wanted to curse Israel, saying, "May you not have any synagogues and schools. May they diminish in influence and in scope." But instead of a curse, by divine command, the blessing of Ma tovu came forth. We have accepted the Ma tovu. We have given it a place of high honor. And as Rabbi Gimbel and Andy introduced, it has become an enticing liturgical placeholder for many cantors and liturgical composers alike. In other words, if all Israel has accepted it and accorded it with such honors, there must be something so special about it that somehow it reflects an aspect of our Jewish DNA that is both deep and real. That unique aspect of our collective character, that Jewish trait which manifests itself in the choice of Ma tovu, I believe, is our very ability to write a blessing out of a curse. We say Ma tovu to find the benediction in the malediction, the opportunity out of the catastrophe, the holiness out of the profanity. From the evil intentions of Balaam, we managed to mold a blessing of Ma tovu. Hasidim, Neo-Orthodoxy, further amplified this idea as one of its guiding principles, teaching the importance of finding the nitzatz in the klipa, meaning the spark in the shell. We must always salvage the spark of holiness which resides in the very heart of evil, we're taught. And Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, one of my favorite sages and rabbis, compels us even further to find the me'at hatov, the goodness in the people and in the journeys that we experience. The greatness of humanity consists of our ability to rescue that good and to build upon it. It's no secret to any of us that our current global pandemic has a lot of dark sides. Around the world, people have become sick and passed on. Schools have closed and camps canceled. Some healthcare systems have become overloaded. People have lost jobs. And countries have spent billions on bailouts and medical aid. And for all of us, our psyches have been shaken, triggering our fears and our anxieties. Yet our tradition suggests through all of this are embedded what I like to call ma tovu moments, those experiences in which blessings can be found. The blessing of increased awareness for our neighbors and those disadvantaged in our societies, for the appreciation of those things we took for granted, like the privilege of going to school or being able to eat out, hanging with friends, or working out at the gym. Even simple acts like being able to shake someone's hand or giving a relative or a friend a hug. We also have the blessing of time, traditionally loaded with endless activities and commitments. We have the opportunity to reimagine how we spend our sacred moments, not just during the pandemic, but well after it. And lastly, we have the blessing of allowing the synagogue, and for us specifically, and especially Beth Israel, to burn more brightly during a time of darkness in order to shine a light as a beacon of hope and comfort for so many. Misfortunes have their redeeming qualities. Death brings an appreciation of life. Challenge can bring families closer together, reigniting dormant loves and loyalties. And pandemic can and will push us to find even more ways to connect and to engage with one another. After all, in the inner shells of curse, there lies in the spark of blessing. Thus, the reason for beginning the day with Ma Tovu. We enter the house of God, which stands and survives despite and because of its ancient and modern enemies. The synagogue itself is a symbol of that transformation, yet the sacred work is ours to carry out. Ma Tovu, how good. Indeed, not only good, but how fortunate it is for a people who can forever hope and smile, knowing that even if curse could be its lot, it will find every drop of blessing. This indeed is the greatest blessing of all. Ma Tovu, how good. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Kim Carno, and I am the president of Beth Israel. On behalf of the board, clergy, and staff, welcome to our services, now back in our beautiful courtyard. Just as the people of Israel journeyed through the desert, so too have Rabbi Nevarez and his family journeyed to San Diego. Beth Israel welcomes you to your new home in Carmel Valley, and more importantly, your new home here on Golden Haven. When I first addressed this congregation as their president, I told them I had a solution for the UTC traffic jams. So, the timing of your arrival is simply impeccable. I trust you did not get stuck in any traffic on the way to Shabbat this evening. What feels new and different will soon feel comfortable and connected, as together we chart Beth Israel's future. Time will go by in a blink. After all, Rabbi Nevarez, you are already 1 year older than you were on Tuesday. Our journey together begins now. We are ready to be in community with you, and we greet you with our hearts open. As we head into the 4th of July weekend and new COVID guidance, I want to encourage everyone in our community to be safe. And now, continuing to share with you my love of musicals, I will conclude with the Sabbath prayer from Fiddler on the Roof. May the Lord protect and defend you. May he always shield you from shame. May you come to be, in Israel, a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long lives. May God make you good mothers and wives. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. O hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
On this day, July 3rd, we enter into a time of Independence Day, a time where we reflect on the freedoms that all in our country should have, all those individuals who are counted as part of our greater domestic family. And we know that in this time we feel a sense of, I would say, discomfort for all that's going on. But let us take a moment to reflect. Let us take a moment for prayer. Let us take a moment to honor what freedom truly means and what we hope our tradition brings us in this moment. And so we join together. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. King Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will and blessing as we say, Amen.
Amen.
We begin to conclude our service with the Aleinu. If you're able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit kedula li'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'arasot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. When you hear the name of your loved one, we invite you to rise in your home so that you can honor their lives, their memory. Sad to announce at this moment the recent death of Sue Ellen Bellett, sister of Jonathan and Gail Schwartz, aunt of Stephanie, Allie, and Brandon. We are in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days after the burial, for Sandra Albers, Bill Fox, Arthur Levinson, B. Meerman, and Janet Lynn Shiraga. And we remember those who died at this time in years past. Adelson, Fred Ahadian, Kate Asherman, Ronald Backrack, Burton Benjamin, Milo Berenson, Helen Cecile Burke, Martha Berkowitz, Sandra Bernstein, Tilly Beston, David Bloom, Harry Blumberg, Bella Borak, Ruth N. Brav, Sylvia G. Breger, Jessica Briggs, N. Jerome Chapin, Ann Roth Eisenberg, Benjamin Fisdell, Ina Fisher, Samuel I. Fox, Susan Garson, Eve Gerson, Marilyn Glazer, Harvey Glass, Jerry Gordon, Edward Gottlieb, Bruce Grainer, Francis Greenberg, Mo Gross, Ann Gutman, Beulah Hecht, Florence Hirsch, Martin Hyatt, Milton Jasper, Jill Ann Conweiler, Sylvia Karp, Adele Kupfer, Marcia Nevin Lawrence, Gerald Lazard, Lee Levin, Jeffrey Levinson, Mildred Midge Levy, Helen Loeb, Daniel Lowenthal, Annette Lubo, Marion Malkus, Rose Marcus, Peter Markin, Barbara Melnick, Teresa Messenger, Victoria Miller, Gertrude Nalvin, Michael Norins, Doris Abulafia Percy, Walter Peters, MD, Sarah Polster, Michael A. Reese, Julius Richard, Harry Rivkin, Jacqueline Louise Rosenberg, May Rosenblatt, Max William Rosenthal, Benjamin Rothstein, F.E. Rottenberg, Ivel Rowland, Sidney Rubenstein, Morris Sachs, Rose Streve Schneider, Mervyn Schoenberger, Joseph Schwartz, Morris Sedloff, Marion Maggie Silverman, Evelyn M. Steers, Mickey Stern, Pauline Stone, James Stovin, Celia Stryker, Jerry Streichler, Erwin Ulevich, Alice Wax, Hilda Weiner, Robert Weiss, Grigori Wise, and Lei Kawa Winston. If there is a name that I have not shared with our community and it is a yahrzeit for you, please share that name with your families and remember those you loved. We join together in our Kaddish Yatom. Please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma tivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudsha brichu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for blessing.
Amen.
Shalom aleinu.
May it be in this time that we all find the strength and the resilience to continue to strengthen and support one another. As we say, Adonai Oz Amo Yitin, Adonai Varechet Amava Shalom, for us, for all of Israel, and for all the goodness that we find in humanity. And may the promise of peace and the blessings of our lives ever come true. As we say together, Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.